You like Napoleon Dynamite because you can relate to it, because you're...
A few months ago I was doing children's story at church, and I said something to the kids, and one of the kids said, like, in Star Wars, and I said, I don't know, I've never watched Star Wars before, and there was a collective gasp in the church.
Okay. Have you seen Star Wars at all?
I've never seen a Star Wars.
Now, he needs to be geekified.
I know one thing about Star Wars, and that is Greedo shot first.
No.
Right?
Kill me now.
That's all I... 4 is really the first one, right?
Okay, 4 was the first one, aired back in 1977. Okay, so what starts out is you have this huge Imperial army. Then you have this rebel forces that wants to take it down. In the midst of all of this, there's this really desert planet called Tatooine. And that's where Luke Skywalker is, and he's with his aunt and his uncle.
Oh, that's the other thing I know.
Okay.
Is Luke kissed his sister.
Yes! Okay, we'll get to that!
Okay.
Spoiler alert, anyone.
And he lives with his aunt and uncle, did you say?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like Wizard of Oz, kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
In Wizard of Oz, they live with her aunt and uncle?
Yeah, Dorothy lives with her aunt and her uncle.
So yeah, he basically finds, as Obi-Wan Kenobi finds out that he has this high midichlorian count, which doesn't come in until episode 1, but we'll just leave that aside.
Chlorine.
No, midichlorian.
I can't believe I haven't watched this yet.
Come on, this is so good. Basically, he finds out he's a Jedi, and so they're like, hey, sweet, we actually have a Jedi. We might actually be able to win this.
Because Darth Vader was a Jedi, but then he went bad, right?
Yes. Good Jedi, the bad Jedi, they fight.
Okay.
Okay? And then they meet up with Han Solo and Chewbacca because they need to get to where they're going.
Okay.
And so they meet up, and they become this huge band of misfits that need to go rescue the princess.
Oh, just like in Spaceballs.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they go and they rescue the princess, and that's where Luke and Leia are like...
So they're brother and sister, but
brother and sister
didn't know.
They didn't know. They didn't know that they were twins. You know?
When does Greedo shoot Han?
That whole thing, that was in the cantina, and that was when they first met up with Han Solo, and they were looking for somebody to smuggle them.
Oh, that's in Spaceballs too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I don't need to watch Spaceballs.
Spaceballs was a spoof of Star Wars. Think of it this way. The, you know, the Darth Vader side are like the Republicans. And the rebels are like the Democrats.
Watch yourself.
There's more electoral votes in California than they'd care to admit. If they just blew up California, they wouldn't have to worry about coming into power.
There you go.
See? Don't take that too much out of context. So anyways, they go, they destroy the Death Star, and so he uses the Force to hit this little tiny hole at super fast speeds with his torpedo thing.
I did go on the Star Wars ride when we went to Disneyland when I was a kid.
Okay.
And we were flying in these little planes.
So they go and save the Ewoks, and that's where they were building another Death Star, and then everyone lives happily ever after, and they...
I don't understand why it's such a popular movie.
Because it has really cool one-liners. You're like, really? C-3PO says a lot of really strange things.
All he says is doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
No, that's R2-D2.
Oh, whatever, same thing. There was a cartoon when we were kids, though.
There was an Ewoks.
And R2-D2 and Goldie were in it, too. What?
C-3PO. Didn't they have the Quaker Oats guy with it as well? Wasn't he involved somehow?
What? The Quaker Oats guy? I remember, though, because R2-D2 would always Oh, that's Transformers. Never mind.
Did you just compare R2-D2 to a Transformer? But anyway, there's a lot. It's kind of like when you take Matrix and you got Neo, and he's kind of like the Jesus. There's a lot of biblical parables in Star Wars as well.
Well, whenever you have a good guy and a bad guy, you can always say, well, that's Jesus, right? It's like, so, me and you on the show, I'm Jesus every day, right? You can say that fairly.
Yeah, and then I'm the Holy Spirit,
okay.
and the bad guy is Brent Kite.